Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. With all of the homemade MRE videos that I've been doing, I'm constantly getting comments from people suggesting new ideas and new approaches. This video is just one of those. I've gotten several suggestions from people who have said, hey, how about making an MRE that doesn't require any cooking at all? And keep in mind that part of the approach to this is using items that don't have to be cooked. But what if we built an MRE out of items that we're not going to cook at all? We don't really have a reason to. Things that are best served cold. And so with that in mind, I give you the Dad Budget Adventures Homemade MRE Menu BSC1. Everything in this MRE is designed to be eaten straight out of the package with no prep at all. No heating, no cooling, no adding boiling water, no nothing. Everything in here is eaten as it's presented. And that is just how we're gonna do this. Now, the one thing that's different in this video is I did not pick up all of these items at the same place. I went to multiple stores trying to find just the right items. There were some things I was hoping to find that I just couldn't quite put my hands on, but I was able to put together enough items that we can follow all the rules. With that being said, let's go over the rules one more time. Rule number one, everything in here has to be able to be eaten straight out of the package. That is not going to be an issue with this in any way. Rule number two is that every item in here must have at least a 1-year shelf life or best by date from the day that I purchase it. And that is strictly so that if this thing sits around for the next year, by the time I get around to eating it, at least I can expect the contents to still be somewhat fresh. And finally, rule number three is the menu. Now this one's going to be a little harder to define that way, but this MRE must have an entree, a side, a walking around snack, a dessert, and a beverage. Now let me go ahead and get this out of the way. This is not going to be a traditional meal, but I also didn't want it to just look like random items. I know somebody's gonna come into my comments on this one going, hey, that's just a random bag of food. Well, come to think of it, they've already done that in regular MRE videos, so I'm not too worried about that. But I did try to make this as close to an actual meal as possible. So with those rules out of the way, let's get to looking and see what I've got in this homemade MRE best served cold. Let's tear open the bag and see what is the first thing we're gonna pull out. For our entree. I've said over and over again doing these videos that I've always tried to avoid things like tuna pouches and protein bars. Every once in a while I will use prepackaged meat pouches, and this is one of those cases, but we went a step further with this. What I got for our entree was one of these Starkist Smart Bowls that has tuna and pasta and vegetables all in the package with it. There's nothing that requires mixing. I don't have to add anything into this. I could just tear the top off of this and eat it straight out of the package. This particular one is zesty lemon with pasta and beans with tuna. I've had a couple of the varieties of these before, but I've never tried this one, and I'm kind of looking forward to it because the others that I've tried have really been good. Let's hope that this one is a worthy entree. Next in our bag is our side. I got something really unusual for this one. I went to my local international market because I knew they had these things. I've used a similar item in the past when I did my homemade MRE from the international farmers market, but I wanted to make sure that I wasn't duplicating that, and I picked up a different flavor, and this one sounds really interesting. What I got was this Argetta spicy chicken spread. The previous one that I tried was a tuna spread, and it was really surprisingly good. So I'm looking forward to trying this because I think this might outdo it. And to go with the spread, I got some of these snack time crackers. Y'all have seen these in a couple of videos before. These are a favorite of mine, and they're perfect for this application. We can use these to put this on, and we should have quite a tasty treat. Next up, I've got not one, but two walking around snacks. Because the entree in this meal falls a little on the lightweight side, I decided I wanted to get some things to kind of bulk it up and make up for what we're not getting from our entree. So the things that I picked up for our walking around snack are, I threw in 2 of these 100 calorie each assorted nut packs. These are from Southern Grove. I was recently hunting around at Aldi trying to do an MRE there. I've gotten a lot of requests for that, but I will tell you something. Aldi is a hard store to build an MRE at. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'll make it happen one day, I promise, but it's hard to do. Then to bulk up our walking around snacks, I got some Jack Link's turkey jerky that I picked up at Dollar Tree. It's always good to have the extra protein of some kind of a jerky, but it's also one of those things that if you don't feel like you need it, you can just stick it away and use it later. These always make a really nice midnight snack. For our dessert, I picked this up at Dollar General. I got one of these Dollar General store brand dark chocolate bars. I've said it before, chocolate is always a good addition to your your MRE as long as it's not going into hot weather. It's a really good morale booster, and you can do other things with it. You don't have to just eat the chocolate bar. You can always add it to other things. You can throw it in some coffee. You can add it to other dessert items. There's a variety of things you can do with chocolate, and especially a bar this size. For our beverage of sorts, I picked up some packs of the True Lemon powdered lemon. To my understanding, this is just crystallized lemon, which if you just need something to add a little bit of flavor to your water, plus if you're having to purify your water with tablets or drops, adding something with a little bit of extra flavor is a good way to go. Now, a few videos ago, I started asking if viewers thought that I should add an item into the MREs to bulk it up either for calories or sugar or protein or other content in the event that they felt they needed a little bit more. I've gotten a lot of people that have said yes. I've also gotten, surprisingly enough, a lot of people that have said no. But for this particular meal, I have added a bonus booster item. At Dollar Tree, I found these pre-made Carnation Instant Breakfast Essentials drinks. Now, if you remember a couple of videos back, I used the powder and added it to water to see how that worked. It wasn't the best, but it also wasn't the worst. But this is already mixed up. It's everything that you're gonna need, and it provides a little bit of extra calories. It will add 10 grams of protein. It'll add some sugars, it'll add some calories. It's gonna add a lot of what you need if you're out just trying to go a little further. But this is another one of those items that if you decide you don't need it, you don't have to consume it. Or you can just use it whenever you do get around to feeling like you need something a little extra. So that's everything that's in this meal kit. Let's start diving in and trying these items and see if this is something that's gonna work as well as I hope it does. All right, so the first thing I wanna do is get a beverage ready because as you've seen before, things don't always go like we hope they will. And I wanna make sure that if I get something nasty, I've got something to wash it down with. And in order to do that, I get to show you guys something new. This arrived this week. This is an item that was sent to me off the Amazon wish list by Mr. Z, who has been an absolutely amazing supporter and friend to this channel. Check out this water service jug. I'm not sure how much this holds, but I will find out and I will pop it up on the screen for you. This is a really cool way to store some water and make it easy to serve. We're gonna get us some water in the official Dad Budget Adventures Bling mug so that we can make something to drink. So boom, here we are. We have our Bling mug full of water. We're gonna throw in this True Lemon powder and see what we end up with. So let's check this stuff out and see what we've got here. It kind of smells like Country Time lemonade. It's not as sharp as I expected it to be if it's just powdered lemon, but there are no sweeteners in this. There's no calories, there's no anything in here. So let's get this added into our water. And I'm only gonna do one pack. Stir it in here with one of our bamboo sporks. Ooh, that's really releasing the smell of the lemon. Now it very much smells like lemon juice. All right, I'm not gonna try that just yet. We're gonna set this aside and we're gonna try some of our other stuff. You know, it just occurred to me, we kind of have a little bit of a theme going tonight because I've got the True Lemon in here and I've got the lemon tuna with pasta and beans. So let's tear into this and give that a try. Don't mean to mess you guys up. I know we're breaking routine. Usually we've got the entree cooking and that's one of the last things we try. We're gonna shake things up a little bit. All right, let's tear this open. I don't know why these are designed this way that I can never seem to get the entire thing torn off. It always either wants to stick or just tear apart. So our Smart Bowls pasta and beans with tuna. Zesty lemon, fully cooked. We don't have to cook it anymore. You can eat it cold. Ooh, that smells lovely. One of the things about anything that's made with tuna, it does really tend to have that strong kind of off-putting smell to it. But this is not bad. This is actually quite pleasant. So let's get in here and see what we've got. It looks good. We've got our tuna, beans, some little pasta shells, and a few other things in there. That really doesn't, and it's actually, it looks like a lot more food than you'd think from that flat packaging. I mean, if you're an average sized person, this would probably be sufficient for you. I mean, not if you just ate this by yourself, that'd just make you mad. You're gonna have to have something to go with that, but let's give this a try. That's not half bad. You know, lemon traditionally has been very common with seafood, and it does tend to kind of curb a little bit of that seafoody taste. So it's not a bad addition into this at all. Let's go in for another bite. Oh yeah, that'll work. That dog will hunt right there. It's interesting that they've added the little pasta shells in here because it seems like it would take up a lot of space. They're using some really small shells, but it does add a little bit of extra texture in here. I like that combination. Now it's time to try our side. I've kind of been a little bit, I don't want to say excited, but I've been looking forward to trying this. This spicy chicken spread. If it's half as good as the tuna spread, and that I bought It was a little sketchy and I wasn't really sure about it, but it turned out to really be good. So fingers crossed that this is going to be the same way. Let's open up our crackers. These are always good. And get one of these, cleanse the palate a little bit from the tuna so I get a better judgment of what this tastes like. I'll tell you what, those crackers are hard to beat. They really are. They're very buttery tasting. So just by themselves, they're quite a treat. All right, so let's pop this open and see what we've got. That's interesting. It kind of looks like hummus. It's got a smooth looking texture to it. You can see a little bit of the additional ingredients in here, but they're finely chopped. It smells good. It's got a potted meat smell. I mean, that's essentially what it is, but it's not offensive. It's not that dog food smell that you get with some of this kind of stuff. All right, so let's get us a little bit of this. I'm just gonna try this out of the can. No cracker, no nothing. Let's just see what this is like. Oh, wow. That is, that's a lot better than I expected. And it's a little spicier than I expected too. Really didn't think it was gonna bring that kind of kick to it. Let's get us a cracker and some of our spicy chicken spread. See what we've got here. Down the hatch. Wow, that is so good. This reminds me of like a chicken dip that you'd have at a party. It doesn't taste like a typical pate or potted meat. It very much has a dip type taste and texture to it. You could take this stuff, scoop it out into a bowl, hand somebody some tortilla chips or some corn chips. They'd lay waste to that stuff and have no idea that they were eating potted meat. I need another one of these. Cheers. That is a top shelf recommendation. If you can find this stuff at a local market, if you have an international market around you, or if you can even go online and find it, that's good for adding into your meals. The best by date on this can is in 2027. That's some survival food right there. I'd be happy surviving on something like this. And if you have creative ways to use something like this chicken spread, leave me a comment down below and tell me about it. I'd love to hear some different ways of doing this besides putting it on crackers. How would you use this chicken spread? All right, let's have another little palate cleanser. Because now it's time to try this True Lemon. So this is just water and a single pack of True Lemon. That's nice. It just tastes like you squeezed a slice of lemon into your water. And the great thing about it is, depending on how strong you like it, you could just put as much of that as you want in there. If you wanted to add a little bit of sugar or some other sweetener to it, you could absolutely do that. But it's really not bad just in water. It's very refreshing, and that's a good way to just drink a little bit of water. If you had some tea bags and you wanted to make hot tea, that would be awesome in that. All right, so let's move on to our walking around snack. Let's try this Jack Link's turkey jerky. And once again, this is one of those packages where this really is not a bargain, so to speak. We only paid $1.25 for this. This is such a small amount that if you really price it out, it's not a bargain. But what you're paying for is the small individual portion that can easily go into your bag or into your backpack, and it's easy to quickly consume it. Then you don't have to worry about keeping up with stuff that you haven't eaten. So keep that in mind when you're shopping at Dollar Tree for things like this. It's not always a bargain, so if you're looking for things in bulk, that's not the way to go. If you're looking for things specifically to put in a kit like this, spend the money. All right, let's try this. It's got a heavily seasoned smell to it. I'm not really sure what I'm picking up on. I mean, it smells like roast turkey. Let's give this a go. It's very, very salty, but it's jerky. It is very tender. It's got a texture like cold bacon. But that's pretty good stuff. It's not my favorite of the Jack Links, but it's not bad at all. Next, we're going to try this 100-calorie pack of mixed nuts. This is walnuts and almonds. While I'm tearing this open, this is a good time to remind you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are quickly approaching 15,000 subscribers, and when I get to 15,000, I'm going to release a MRE for 2 video that my wife is helping me out with. So if that sounds like something you'd like to see, go ahead and click on the subscribe button and share this with your friends. Also, if you're on Instagram, I've recently reestablished my Instagram, so you can go over there and look for additional content that you're not going to see here. Find out where I'm traveling to, what stores I'm going to, what kind of things I'm doing, and just random goofy stuff that I do. All right, so let's give these nuts a try. It's not the greatest smell in the world. You know, peanuts have a really exclusive smell to them, but walnuts and almonds really don't. They smell very dry. I hope they don't taste weird because this kind of has that smell like it's been in a drawer for a while in somebody's basement. All right, let's give this a try. These are good. They have no extras. I don't think they're even salted. Or if they are, it's very lightly salted. It's a good flavor. They don't taste old or anything. I did put 2 packs of this in there because they are 100 calorie packs. And 100 calories goes pretty quick if you're being very active. Now keep in mind, these packs are not intended for combat. They're not intended for the end of the world. We're not using these to go out and fight zombies. These are designed for outdoor excursions like camping trips or for minor disasters in the event that you got to get by for a couple days without having to worry about gathering up a bunch of stuff. These are packaged up, easy to grab and go. Wash that down. Let's give our bonus item a try. I've never had these shelf-stable breakfast essentials like this. This is a good way to get a little bit of extra. Smells like every other protein drink out there. Let's hope it tastes better. I'm not a huge fan of those things. Yeah, that's not bad. It's very chocolatey. It's not real proteiny. It's not powdery tasting. Just tastes like chocolate milk. I don't know about you, but I like chocolate milk. It's definitely better than the one I made just using water. And by the way, thank you to all the people who have made suggestions for how to make that better. I think one day I'm going to try a video of just doing some of your suggested ideas for how to take something that didn't go as well as I'd hoped and make it better. If that sounds like something you'd like to see, leave me a comment down below and tell me about it. And I might just make that happen. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, yeah, we have chocolate. Our last item in this MRE is our Dollar General Dark Chocolate Bar. When you apply the name Dollar General to things, it automatically starts to make it questionable. A lot of people say that about great value products from Walmart, and a lot of the great value stuff is actually really good. You gotta give it a chance sometimes. All right, so let's check out this chocolate bar. It's a good looking bar. It's not bloomed or anything. It looks really good. Good, rich, dark chocolate smell. Yeah. So let's give this a try. See what we got. That's really not bad at all. Very, very rich dark chocolate. Yeah, I'm not hating that at all. That Dollar General store brand's not half bad. All right, so that is it for the Dad Budget Adventures Homemade MRE Best Served Cold. I didn't get anything in this kit that I wouldn't get again. In fact, I would absolutely rebuild this and keep it in my stock for just such an occasion where I would need something like that. Maybe you're going on a camping trip someplace where you know it's going to be wet and starting a fire could be iffy. Or maybe you're going someplace where there's a fire ban or someplace where you just are not going to have time to heat up your food. But you also don't want to just eat things cold that are intended to be eaten warm. This is a perfect option for that. Everything in here I would buy individually or all together again in a meal. So if you enjoyed this video, please once again help us get this channel to 15,000 subscribers. Share the videos, share the content, share the wealth. And don't forget to check out the Amazon wish list in the description box below. It's just a selection of items of different price points that you can send to either help with a video or just help the channel along. And with that being said, that's a wrap for this one. Prepare for the world that you live in, not the one you wish existed. And we'll see you around.